Greetings, I am Tantus Narvan Dracovin, Lord and Emperor of the Dracovin Empire, and welcome. It's time to continue our talking of anime series and using them in your BESM games. This part, using the anime series I just talked about in your BESM games. So I'm going to go over Claymore, the classic Sailor Moon series, and Cyber Team and Akihabara. Let's of course start. Let's start with Claymore. Now for this one, I would start everyone at 300 points. After that, I would add 50 to 100 points on every arc you go into the future. And when I'm talking about the major arcs, I'm talking about Claire's initial arc, her sort of upgrade into the War in the North, the 3 years later, and sort of the final upgrade push to the end of the series. So you could be up towards 700 points at the end of the series, or you could be at 500. Depends on how you want to balance it. That's why I'm giving you this 50 to 100 mark, just because that you can balance it out for how you want to build the game. So don't be afraid of time skips. That's one of the things, is time skips forward in this game, in this series. So don't be afraid of that. You're going to want your characters to design their own claymores. They're going to have their own powers. Come up with some sort of idea for the power, and then build it around that. Like, one of them has powerful vision. Develop your abilities around that. One of them gets a special way that they can manipulate their body. Focus on that. Claire ends up being able to partially awaken herself a little bit. Maybe give her that ability, that sort of thing. So next up, I do want to talk about Cyber Team and Akihabara. Start with 450 points. Plan to raise the point values to 550 to 600 when they learn to merge with their divas. So what you're going to do is you're going to give probably 150 to each of the characters. They're going to be a little more skilled than your average junior high character, just from the way that the characters are on the anime. You could also make them high school. You could make them college if you really wanted to. I would not recommend above that. I'd say probably stick to high school if you don't want to do junior high, don't have kids. It's up to you with the age group. You can play a game where people are in junior high. It's up to you what kind of game you want to play and the maturity level you think your players could have. I'd also recommend you keep to the they're all girls. This is a theme for it, just like in Claymore. I would recommend keeping them all women because that's the theme of it there too. So these are animes with a lot of female-based characters. Hey, I've played both male and female characters in games. So the rest of the points are going to be spent on designing your diva, but yes and no. You are going to split some points between that and the Patapi. So you're going to design your own Patapi, and then you're going to design it transforming into the diva, like the stats that would have upon that transformation. Now it's up to you how you want to deal with the storyline of the anime. The storyline is going to be the same as to why everything is there. It's up to you how much you want to deal with the other characters from the anime. If you want to make them that your PCs are going to be them, if that there's going to be NPCs in your game, anything like that. It's up to you how you want to fit yourself in, as if extra characters or replacing some of the characters. You're going to be dealing, as I said, with the evil organization. So you're going to have to design at least the homunculus, but you could also design more creatures of themselves. We have the trio of the three ladies. Other than them, you could add in other villains. You could deal with things like with Shooting Star, more on himself. You could deal with more and embellish more in the anime up to what you want to do. It's entirely up to you how you want to use the source material, but as I said, you're using it in your game. You're fighting against the organization because they're trying to get up to Crane in space. They're trying to get him and get control of him. Of course, the last one I am going to talk about is the classic Sailor Moon. I would start with 250 points if you're starting at Season 1 and increase the point value by 50 to 100 per season after there. Figure out how much you're going to boost up that power level by. It's similar to what I was talking about with Claymore. You're going to have to judge how much power level you want to increase everything by and how much abilities you want to give everybody. So basically, you're going to go by season to season. You can choose which season to start in. Is one of those things. You have the option of which season to start in. So you could start anywhere along the path. And as I said previously, you can be characters that could fit in with it. The thing is, the earlier the seasons, the less likely you are to be some of these characters. 4th and 5th season, where they're introducing a lot more Sailor Senji, then it is a lot more opening for it. The Amazonas Quartet are in fact actually, in the manga, they are a group of Senji that weren't supposed to awaken. They're supposed to be the protectors of Chibi Moon. That's what they were supposed to do, and they were awakened ahead of time. That they were similar to the inner Senji being for Sailor Moon, they were supposed to be two Chibi Moon. So you could be like characters like them. You could play in the 5th season you could put it there and play as them. Granted, you could also play similar characters in any of the other seasons if you come up with an idea. Just talk to your game master and he'll discuss it with all the characters. It's that, or you could take the place of these characters. You could be one of the Senshi yourself. It's entirely up to you how you want it and how you want. Discuss it with your characters. Discuss it with your players. Figure out what kind of character they want to play in the game. So, I've gone over these 3 anime series, these classics, at least in my book, and I've told you how to use them in your BESM games. If you have any questions, comments, anything you say, leave them in the comments below. Please leave a like. It's a great way of supporting this video and support the channel. Please subscribe if you already haven't. We're always looking for more members, more people to become a citizen of the Empire. And please, if you know anybody that would learn from this, if you know anybody that would learn anything from this video or would enjoy it, please share it. And until the next time, I bid you farewell.